Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this outlet here behind me with a GFCI. So a GFCI is a ground fault circuit interrupter. It's designed for plugs that are near a water source. So we have our laundry box here. I believe local code here is 3 feet from a water source like a sink. Depending on your region, your code be different. A common place that you'll see GFCI outlets are counter plugs for a kitchen, a bathroom, and in this case, a laundry. So with that in mind, what we'll do now is material and tools. Alright guys, this is our material and our tools list. So our material, we have our outlet. For tools, wire strippers, multi-bit screwdriver, and a volt stick. The volt stick is an electrical tester. So guys, with that in mind, let's get started. Alright guys, so we're at our breaker panel. So the paper on the right is the labels for what the breakers are. I went through this a long time ago to make it easier on myself in the future. Unfortunately, in my case here, what I'm working on, the very bottom, to shut off outlet in laundry room and sensor light, shut off the main breaker. So the main breaker is this one here. Guys, what I'm working on right now is an addition that had no permits, and when there's no permits, you have no clue what the person has done. So if you're unsure, just shut everything off. But in my case here, there goes the main breaker, and now we're gonna go upstairs and test to see if we have power. Alright guys, with the breaker shut off, we're going to take our electrical tester, and it says we have no power. Alright guys, if you don't have an electrical tester like me, what you can always do is take a light, plug it in, and then switch on the light to see if you have power. I have no power at this outlet, which is perfect. That is what I want. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is take off our cover. And these are also slots as well. Alright guys, so this is our plug. So we have hot here, neutral is the white, and then the bare wire is ground. So because the wires are going in through the back here, the way this designed is that the wire goes in and then it clamps on. You can't remove the screws. You can't loosen them off to get this out. So in this case here, these will have to be cut, and then I can take off the ground wire. Alright, so with our wire strippers, cut off the hot. We'll cut off the neutral, and then we're going to undo the ground. Alright guys, so this is our old plug. So the hot is on the right, neutral is on the left. Alright, since I cut the wires, I now need to strip it. So guys, this is 14 gauge wire. I'd say cut off, or sorry, strip back about a half an inch. Alright guys, this is the front of our outlet, so this is the hot side. So when we flip it to the back, it says hot here, white here. And then our ground is on the bottom. So for this design, the wire will go into here, and then when you tighten up the screw, that's going to clamp this plate down with the between the two plates with the wire in between. Also, one other thing to note, the hot has a brass screw, and then the neutral has a white screw. Alright guys, the first thing I'm going to do is the ground. So the ground has a hook. So for the ground, the wire just goes underneath the head of the screw. And then tighten it down. With the ground done, next it is going to be the neutral. And then last but not least, the hot. The wire is a little bit short. Alright, so that's what it looks like. So you don't want to have bare wire sticking out, especially on the hot side. And if we look above, the wire goes in the hole. So there's the plate on the one side, there's a plate on the inside here that you can't see. And then when you tighten up this screw, that'll pinch the plates and then hold the wire in place. Alright, with the outlets, or the plug all connected, now what we're going to do is get our screws back on. Alright, so we're going to put our plate on. Alright, for our screws, make sure that they're parallel. So here they're horizontal, they can be vertical, but it looks better if they are both going the same direction. So what I'll do now is go downstairs and turn on the power. Alright guys, so our breaker, we'll flip that back on. And now we'll go upstairs and test the plug. Alright guys, power is back on. It's green. I'll plug in the light, test it. Assuming we have power to the light, we'll be done with this job. Alright, so we'll plug our light in. It works. Alright guys, I broke out the back end so you can see. So the tab there, it's like a claw that hooks onto the wire. So you see the mark right there? That is how this bites into it. So once you push the wire in, you're not going to be able to pull it out. So you're going to have to cut your wire off with this type of design. Guys, with that in mind, let's do an overview of this job. Alright guys, so that concludes this job. So this is really as easy as it gets when it comes to DIY. The key thing is shut power off and make sure the correct breaker is off. Guys, like I said, mark your breakers when it's convenient for you. I would say when you move in is probably the best time to do it. So it's not going to be a guessing game. And when you have people that did work unpermitted, you have no idea what they've done. So the best thing to do is make sure that you're safe. The time on this job, the time was, I'm going to say 40 minutes. Simple job. I didn't run into problems. I wasn't expecting any problems anyway. The cost of this job, the GFCI is $25. I mean, for safety, it's a small investment, so I highly recommend if you have a situation where you have a plug that's too close to a source of water, in my case here, it's the laundry, make sure that you change it out to a GFCI outlet so you don't run into any type of problems down the road. Ultimately, safety is the #1 thing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope something here is going to help you on your project when you need to go ahead and do that. Guys, till next time, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.